Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, Par Tolles joins us. He's CEO of Tolles Development Company, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always delighted to welcome back to the program after a ridiculously long absence.
You missed me?
I did. And you're only on the floor above me in the office.
That's right. I just stomp on the floor.
Par Tolles joins us. He's the CEO of Tolles Development Company. Pleasure to have you back, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Great to be back.
So I think that you have a really fascinating view of the economy. Because, you know, you develop properties, you buy properties, you sell properties, you hang on to properties. And so whatever's going on in the economy that we see as the news, in quotes, the reality may be different. So I know just by observation over the last year, in fact, over the last few months, you've sold properties that you had for quite a long time. You've bought properties now recently. You're developing other properties. So it seems to me that despite the interest rates, there is still business to be done. Am I right?
Great question. How much time do we have?
As long as you want.
I'll give you my general macro view. It's hard right now. And we have found ways to do business, and I'll touch on a few of those, but it is very insecure out there for business. It's just until this administration lands the plane on tariffs, businesses are not making moves on expansion or, I would say, capital reinvestment. Some are. That's not a blanket statement, but it is as slow as I've seen it from our industrial work, which is the majority of our business right now, both in Vegas and in Northern Nevada. It's as slow as I've seen it. It is crickets out there from a leasing standpoint. Businesses are not making moves to take more space because they don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Donnie Gilman said the same thing, by the way.
Okay, yeah, and so listen, this is not turn on CNBC and you'll hear the same thing. But I don't know. It's such a mercurial. The administration is so mercurial in the way that they are approaching tariffs, taxes on imports that I just don't. Until they kind of settle it, put it to bed, I think the economy is going to remain in somewhat of an insecure place.
So there's a couple of things to look at from my perspective as an observer. One is, and there was a huge article last week, I think it was in the New York Times, that talked about how the money coming in from the tariffs is so big that the concern in the economic community is that government on every level will look at this money and go, oh, this is really good. This is paying for all these different things that we want to do and all these different things that we need to fund, that maybe these tariffs are actually a really good idea, and that they won't necessarily go away under another administration, under another political banner. Do you have concerns about that?
So $125 billion to date. That's what I understand. And I don't know what that means in the big picture. Is that a lot or is that a little? I think
apparently it's a lot.
So maybe it is a lot. Think about the long term though, just for a second, side note. So the whole message here is we need to onshore and manufacture in America. If you were to take that to the extreme, we wouldn't have anything to tariff.
Right.
So, side note, but I think the administration's big play was we were going to be able to cut taxes because of the money we were making on tariffs. We'll see if that plays out. I don't know.
Well, and if we're going to use that money for other things, then all we're doing is increasing the debt because it's not going to cover the things that we were hoping for it to cover. And here's the other side of it, which I wanted to bring up, which is that this is how we're dealing with inflation. So we're inflating the debt away by making the value of money less.
Yeah.
Am I not right?
Yeah, no, I think you are right. I don't know. I keep waiting for it to have a negative effect on the economy, and I think a lot of people are waiting. We've noticed that inflation hasn't really bumped up since tariffs have started. I think there's a feeling that they might, but they haven't so far, and everybody's just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. The economy has somehow been really, really resilient with all of this. I don't understand. Take the 39% tariff on Switzerland. So what? Pharmaceuticals, chocolates, and watches, right? Because of a trade imbalance. So you have a little bitty country with a small population, and we have a big country, and of course there's going to be a trade imbalance. We just, they're not going to be able to buy as much goods from the United States as they're going to export to us. So we wallop them with this huge tax that's really destabilizing for them. I don't understand that type of move. I don't understand kind of just emotional tariffs based on that doesn't have a lot of basis for any kind of logic to it on why we're doing it.
All right, but look at the other side of this, though. Now, as we are discovering, the tariffs are not paid by the businesses; they're being paid by the customers. So, for example,
not always though. There's a lot of businesses that have absorbed the tariffs, and it hasn't hit the customer yet. But I don't know how long that's going to last.
Right, because corporations are there to make money, and in the end, that's what they need to do. Right. Otherwise, they're going to go out of business. But for example, if you like chocolate, you have seen chocolate increase dramatically by 33% over the last year, beyond just tariffs, but just cocoa problems around the world. If you like chocolate, are you still buying the chocolate? Are you just buying less? If you're looking at foreign automobiles that are luxury cars, I was over at a luxury car dealership the other day, and I was talking to a salesperson. They said, we just don't know. We're in flux. Because I'm saying, are you going to have to raise the price of the cars like you did during COVID? Because that was because there was a shortage, but now because of the tariff, we just don't know. So,
and I'll
jump in, of course.
I just bought a new car. My wife and I just bought a new car for her. And I asked them about the tariff. I'll tell you who it was. I won't say who it was. They had a rainy day fund of X amount of dollars that they are absorbing the tariffs right now and not passing on to the customers for a period of time. When does the rainy day fund run out? I don't know. Do they become more efficient in their manufacturing and so they can absorb it? Maybe. I mean, maybe these tariffs, they are able to pass on to the consumer. And if it's chocolate, they're still going to buy it because there's just such a demand for it. Or maybe this just forces companies to become more efficient and they're able to absorb that tariff by manufacturing their product for less. I don't know.
Well, the other side of the coin here, and this goes back to my point about, is there so much money coming in from the tariffs that government decides, whatever party it is, that they're going to keep it. But if it's detrimental or seen as detrimental in 3 years, then a new administration, whether it's Republican or Democrat, could rationalize the tariffs again and bring them down to a more normal level.
Correct. No comment. I agree that could happen.
All right. So
I think some of this is appropriate, by the way. I think these tariffs, there needs to be, that we were getting unfairly treated. I just wish that we could have looked at where we were being unfairly treated, message to the market of here are the countries that we're going to deal with that makes sense. And it's logical that this, that we bring these things into balance, issue the tariff, and then close the books. But every day there's something different.
By the way, the other part of this is that this, because of the way our media is set up these days, we think these tariffs are new. Tariffs have been around a long time.
Sure.
And so they existed. We're just seeing a huge publicity campaign around the tariffs, and then it depends. It sounds like the cat just walked in. But it just depends on where you sit as to what you think the effects of the tariffs are.
Yep.
All right. So I guess my point, going back to the original part of this conversation, is you are still in business. You are still doing business. What gives you, and I presume your investors, because I doubt you're going to banks at this point for money, giving you the confidence to move forward? Because you've got a ton of projects.
Well, I would say we've put a lot on hold. On the industrial, we just put an industrial building on hold in the Tahoe Industrial Center because the vacancy is just not to the point that makes anybody feel comfortable building a speculative building. We have this perfect storm where interest rates have remained relatively high, although if you look at it historically, they're normalizing. I think we'll have a cut in September, which will make things a little bit more comfortable. Construction prices have stayed very high because the data center work is really robust. Land prices have not gone down. And we haven't had a lot of demand from an absorption standpoint. So from an industrial, again, that standpoint, I think everybody's kind of just put pencils down and are waiting for something to change, mainly demand to change, that allows us to go start building again. And then on the hospitality side and retail side, again, it's very difficult to make anything pencil right now.
But yet you're moving forward. You've got a development project in South Reno that people seem to be very excited about.
Well, that hotel's finished, and
right.
it's doing fine. But that was built, it's been open for almost a year now. So trying to build that hotel now, Sam, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't pencil. We're working on another hotel with the university. Would be a public-private partnership, but that's not traditional financing. So if you can find ways to bond deals or find cheaper money somewhere, do it all cash, and there is a hotel being built right now, all cash, then you can make the numbers work. But if I were to go do a 30% equity deal, 70% leverage from a bank, it doesn't pencil.
All right, so like you said, interest rates are high but not abnormally high.
Correct.
How far do you think they can realistically drop, and where they should be, in a normal economy, whatever that may mean?
Yeah, I would think 100 to 150 basis points would be an appropriate drop over the next 6 to 9 months. I think if we got that kind of relief, then you'd see the engine turn back on. And by engine, I mean, not only from the ability for us to borrow and buy, borrow and build, and then you talk about the residential landscape, you would see the whole refi engine would turn back on, and you would see, I think, home purchases really increase too. So I think we're to the point now where an appropriate 50 to 100 basis point cut would really, really spark a lot of things in the economy.
Is there a lot of money sitting on the sidelines right now? Really?
Tons.
So that's really the key, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, there is a lot of money that is anxious to invest in real estate, but they're waiting. They know the cut's coming. They're waiting, again, we won't go back into the tariff conversation, but they're waiting for things to stabilize. So I think end of 2025, going to 2026, if some of these things actually happen, I think you could really see a nice move in the economy.
All right. So how much of
Also
this?
coming into election year, and I think, things they're gonna make sure some of those things happen.
Well, and that was exactly where I was heading. So, at what point does Congress wake itself up out of this this sleep and get involved and be the third branch of government that it should be, that it really is acquiesced?
I don't know if it's Congress, or I think, as again I've mentioned the erratic nature of this administration. At the same time, if things don't work, they shift. So I think you're going to see they're experimenting right now with the tariffs. I think they've done a good job, I think, of pushing for a tax cut. They've lowered regulation, which I think is all appropriate. So I think they've set the playing field up for some good moves, towards the end of the year. And I hope Congress supports from that end. I hope they support the administration's push for a more robust business environment.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back more with Par Tolls after this time out.
It's a good time to eat. It's a good time to play.
It's a good time to win.
Ooh, your good time's a tamarack.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Pro Group Management specializes in providing industries with the necessary components to satisfy and exceed workers' comp requirements. Every business has unique needs and specific regulations. Pro Group Management stays ahead of the curve, providing up-to-date services to keep your industry in top form. Discover how we simplify your tasks, improve efficiency, and reduce expense to keep you moving in a positive direction. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Par Tolls. He's the CEO of Toll's Development Company. So Vegas, let's talk about Vegas for a moment. Things are moving along with my favorite project, Ivanpah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still many years out.
It's happening because of you.
Rick Pallotta, me and Rick Pallotta. You have property in Jean.
Yeah.
Where does that sit?
It's been a long entitlement process. We've had a number of environmental issues, not environmental issues, but hydrology issues that have all been put to bed. We're in for our first building permit. But I would say we've pivoted and are doing a little bit more exploratory work on power, both in Jean, and we also have a larger project in Hazen, which we call CHIP, the Churchill Hazen Industrial Park. There is so much demand, as you know, for data centers sparked by AI that if your land has power, you need to understand how much it has and is that going to be part of your project? And we've discovered both in Jean and in Hazen, we're in that ecosystem that we may be able to incorporate data center projects into our larger projects.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. No, and it's remarkable. I've never seen anything like it. I went to a data center conference about 6 months ago in Hawaii by myself, and I just went to every lecture. I walked around this mass of people. I guess it has grown, 100-fold in the last 3 years, but I felt like, okay, this is a gold rush and this is a bubble all in one, and I don't know what's first. But it is from every walk of life, from private equity to concrete guys to alternative cooling professionals. Everybody was there. And I don't see it stopping. And it's just the demand is so insatiable. The demand for power is so insatiable. I mean, this is going to, in my opinion, will hockey stick us to nuclear power very quickly here. In fact, in the Wall Street Journal this morning, there was an article about that. But we have to find alternative energy sources to be able to continue to power this kind of demand. So fortunately, I think we may be able to accommodate part of that. And it's forced me to get to know the space more than I have in the past. So
Brad Kroll, son of former Mayor Bob Kroll of Carson City, is on the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. And we're working on getting him on the program. And it will be fascinating to hear his thoughts on this. And I know when Doug Cannon was head of NV Energy, I said to him a couple of years ago that nuclear power needed a change of name so people wouldn't be scared of it. He said fusion, exactly.
Right.
And the smaller reactors,
yes.
I think that this is just going to be a game changer. They just have to be unbelievably careful with the safety of this. But
it has to happen.
The other thing
I'm actually talking about putting a small nuclear reactor, this is from the Journal this morning, on the moon.
Yes, right.
Did you read that?
I did, yes.
Anyway, keep going.
I've been talking to suppliers to major energy companies, and they're telling me that the orders are so backed up that if you come in with a project where you don't already have the power committed, you're talking years.
There's supposedly, I think, 20 gigawatts of demand in the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center right now. There's a waiting list. And I don't know how long it's going to take. I know, there's Greenlink and other things that are being done to bring more power into that area, but not 20 gigawatts. So something's going to have to change. So.
But you're right. It is a gold rush and a bubble, both at the same time.
Yeah.
And boy, getting in and getting out, that's the question. Let's take another quick break and we'll be right back.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
One night, two incredible bands. Lit. Fuel. Ignited We Stand Tour 2025. Friday, August 22nd, TJ's Corral at the Carson Valley Inn. Get tickets now at carsonvalleyinn.com. Don't miss Lit and Fuel together live.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Par Tolles. He's the CEO of Tolles Development Company. AI, the buzzword you brought up, these data centers, your thoughts?
It's moving so fast. I mean, when the internet was created back in the 90s, it was a digestible pace. This is not digestible. I've never seen, it seems like every week there's something that blows me away. I drove in a Waymo for the first time in San Francisco a few weeks ago.
Were you scared?
No. And the statistics show now that they're safer than even the human driver. So it's going to come to the point, Sam, where your insurance is going to be too expensive for you to actually drive your own car. And you're going to be in a subscription model with one of these, Waymo Tesla taxis. My daughter brought home a large book from her class the other day, and she had downloaded it into Google LM and turned it into a podcast in 30 seconds. So with voices that you cannot, undistinguishable between human and AI voices. And then I've had a friend that has recently fired his therapist because he has a conversation with his co-pilot on the way home every day, and he's finding that the recommendations are better from co-pilot than they have been from his human therapist. So it seems like every week there's something like that blows me away, and you start to understand why the demand is so high for GPUs and power and everything else that's powering this incredible evolution in technology. It's just remarkable.
Okay, but I will throw in buyer beware, because the first thing you have to do with whatever system you want to use is have it talk about you so that you can see whether it actually knows who you are or what you are, has the facts right. Because I did that with both the program and myself, found lots of errors and had to correct them. So folks, don't take it 100% until
you're going to shape yourself on AI?
No. I've already been shaped, and it's not pretty, and it's not going to get any prettier. Parto, it's always a pleasure to have you on the program, sir. Come back sooner, okay?
Yes, sir. Thanks.
And we'll be right back.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. You can always watch our shows anytime on the website at nevadanewsmakers.com or the podcast. We have audio and video podcasts from all your favorite podcast locations and YouTube. Find us everywhere. We'll see you on the next broadcast. Thanks for watching.